Okay, we discussed what is fertilization. Okay, what is fertilization? Fertilization is the fusion of male gamete and the female gamete. Okay, male gamete formed by the process of microsporogenesis, and the female gamete is formed by the process of megasporogenesis. Okay, so these two brings male and female gametes. Then in the case of pollination, the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma, this causes fertilization. Okay, so in the process of fertilization, the polar nuclei which contain two nucleus that enter into the embryo sac. Inside the embryo sac, in between the synergids, egg cell is waiting the pollen grain. So the pollen grain fuses with the egg and form the ovum. Okay. And the next pollen grain fuses with the central cell and they form the triploid nucleus that we are discussed. Here we are discussing post-fertilization changes. Post-fertilization means the changes occurs in the plant after the fertilization, that is known as post-fertilization changes. So the post-fertilization changes are mainly classified into development of endosperm, development of embryo, development of seed and development of fruit. So mainly 4 steps are occurred in the post-fertilization period. Development of endosperm, development of embryo, development of seed and development of fruit. Okay, so first of all we are discussing what are the main events taking place in the post-fertilization period. You can see this. Okay, you can read the slide. If it is not readable, you inform me. I gave you the image of this picture. Okay. So here, at the post-fertilization period, what will happen to the plant portions? Sepal, petal, stamens. Okay. Sepal, petal, stamen, style and stigma usually wither and fall off. They will fall off. Okay, sepal, petal, stamen, style and stigma. Ovary change into fruit. Ovary change into fruit. Ovule change into seed. It is very important. This portion is very important. Okay. Egg is changed into or converted into zygote. Funicle converted into stalk of the seed. Clear? Micropyle converted into micropyle of the ovule that convert into micropyle of the seed. Okay, it facilitates oxygen and water uptake. Nucellus convert into perisperm. Outer indegment of ovule convert into testa. Inner indegment of inner indegment of ovule change into tegmen. Synergid cell degenerate. Secondary nucleus endosperm converted into endosperm and antipodal cells degenerate. So these are the main events taking place. This is very, very important. Okay, so what would happen in the each floral walls asking for a 2-mark question, 3-mark question, 5-mark question and for 100 questions also. Okay, so it is very important. Study well. If this picture is not clear, you please inform me. Okay, sepal, petal, stamen, style and stigma, wither and fall off. Ovary changed into fruit. Ovule changed into seed. Egg changed into zygote. Funicle changed into stalk of the seed. Micropyle changed into micropyle of the seed. Okay, that facilitate oxygen and water uptake. Nucellus changed into perisperm. Outer indegment converted into testa. Inner indegment converted into tegmen. Synergids degenerate. Secondary nucleus converted into endosperm. Antipodal cells that also get degenerate. Okay, so these are the main process taking place at the time of post-fertilization, and this is a picture of the post-fertilization. Here the fertilization occur and change fertilization occur. Then unwanted parts will fall off. Then it convert into fruit or seed-like portions. Okay. Now first step is, I told you that mainly 4 steps are occurs in the post-fertilization period. Development of endosperm, development of embryo, development of seed and development of fruit. Okay, so first of all we are discussing the development of endosperm. So here we are discussing the development of endosperm. So the 3 main important points in this endosperm portion, that is PEN. What is PEN? PEN stands for. PEN stands for. What is PEN? Last year we studied that. What is PEN? Okay. Perisperm, endonucleus. Then next is cellular endosperm. Next is free nuclear endosperm. Okay. So endosperm is a nutritive tissue of the developing embryo. Endosperm is the nutritive tissue of the developing embryo. It is developed from the primary endosperm nucleus. PEN stands for primary endosperm nucleus. Okay, primary endosperm nucleus divides repeatedly to become numerous free nuclei, which later become cellular. Okay, first it is forming as a free nuclear, then it is forming it as a cellular. Okay, so the development of the endosperm is said to be free nuclear. Tender coconut water is an example for the free nuclear endosperm. Tender coconut water is example for the free nuclear endosperm, and the white kernel of the coconut is an example for the cellular endosperm. Endosperm, the endosperm seen in triploid condition 3N. Okay, and is enriched with oil, protein, carbohydrate, minerals, vitamins, hormones, etc. Clear? So what is endosperm? Endosperm is the nutritive tissue of the developing embryo. It is developed from the primary endosperm nucleus. Primary endosperm nucleus divides repeatedly, and first they form numerous free nuclei and later it converted into cellular. Hence the development is known as free nuclear. Example for the free nuclear is coconut water, and the white kernel of the coconut is an example for the cellular endosperm. The endosperm is triploid. Triploid means 3N condition, and it is enriched with oil, protein, carbohydrate, minerals, vitamins, etc. Clear it is? Okay. You having any doubt? Primary endosperm divides repeatedly and form a triploid endosperm tissue. Triploid endosperm tissue. The endosperm may be either fully consumed by the growing embryo or retained in the mature seed. Example for this, endosperm may be either fully consumed by the growing embryo. That is, for example, for that group is P and B. So in P and B, the endosperm is fully consumed by the growing embryo. Okay. But in case of coconut and castor, the growing embryo with the endosperm retained in the mature seed. Endosperm retained in the mature seed. Example for that group is coconut and castor. Coconut and castor is an example for that. Clear? I gave you one question in one slide. Rice plant having 24 chromosomes in meiocyte. Then what was the number of chromosomes in endosperm stage? Only one person answered me correctly. The answer is, if rice plant having 24 chromosomes in meiocyte, that means the original number of chromosome is 12. Okay. So the number of chromosome in endosperm means 3N. So that is 12. 3 into 12. That means 36 chromosome is the answer. That type of questions, problem related questions will come from this chapter. So study thoroughly. Okay. The next topic is, next post-fertilization event is the formation of embryo. Formation of embryo. Okay. So what is embryo? Embryo is formed from the zygote. Embryo develops from zygote at micropylar end of the embryo sac. Okay. Embryo develops from zygote at the micropylar end of the embryo sac. The formation of the embryo, that is known as embryogenesis. Okay. Synthesis is known as, synthesis, the related term of synthesis is genesis. So embryo is forming here, so it is known as embryogenesis. Genesis. Okay, so after a short resting period of the diploid zygote develops into embryo. Initial stages of the embryonic development in dicotyledons and monocotyledons are almost similar, but later their development become different. That means first stages of this development of embryo in case of both the dicotyledon and monocotyledons are similar, then it will be changing. In all angiosperm, the zygote divides first to form a two-celled stage that is known as proembryo. Okay, so in case of angiosperms, angiosperms means flowering plants. The zygote divide first into a two-celled stage that is known as proembryo. In most of the plants, the first formed wall between the two cells is transverse. Okay, these two cells are named as basal cell. Basal cell are seen near to the micropyle. So basal cell is seen near to the micropyle. Okay, and another one towards the center of the embryo sac, that is terminal cell. So the basal cell forms the suspensor and the terminal cell becomes the proper embryo. Okay. So first of all, the zygote divides into two cell stage that is known as proembryo. The two cells are basal cell and the terminal cell. Basal cell seen near to the micropyle and one towards center of the embryo sac, that is known as terminal cell. Terminal cell get converted into proper embryo and the basal cell get converted into suspensor cell. Okay, so during the development of an embryo from the zygote, it assumes an undifferentiated few-celled proembryo. First stage is proembryo, then globular shape, then enter into a heart-shaped structure, then into mature embryo. So first proembryo, globular shape, heart shape, then mature embryo. Okay, so this is the picture. So clearly observe this picture and draw this picture 5 times in your notebook. It is very important picture. Okay, so all the pictures in our NCERT textbook is very important for both the NEET exam and for the CBSE exam. So here the zygote get divided into two-celled stage. Okay, you can see the pictures clearly. Zygote is divided into a two-celled stage, terminal cell and the basal cell. Okay, so this two-cell stage again get converted into a four-cell stage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, four-cell stage. 4 cells get converted into 8, then 8 to 30. In that way, it is getting changed. The number of cell division taking place, the number of cells also getting increased. Okay, so the first forming shape is a proembryo, then it changed into a globular stage. So this is the globular stage and this is the heart stage, heart shape stage, and this is the torpedo stage. Okay, torpedo stage is the mature stage. Okay, so again I am repeating. First proembryo get converted into globular embryo get converted into a heart shape embryo, then heart shape embryo get converted into a torpedo shape embryo is the mature embryo. Okay, so a fully developed dicote embryo shows embryonal axis. Fully developed dicote embryo shows an embryonal axis and it having two cotyledons. Okay, fully developed, it having a two cotyledons. Okay, that's why the name is dicotyledon. So embryonal axis is also known as tigellum. Embryonal axis also known as tigellum. Clear? Tigellum, and it shows epicotyle which is above the level of the cotyledon and hypocotyle below the level of cotyledon. So in case of dicotyledon embryo, embryonal axis, that is known as tigellum. It shows epicotyle above the level of the cotyledons and hypocotyle below the level of cotyledons. Okay, so the epicotyle ends in, it's seen in above portion, so it is ends in plumule portion and the hypocotyle ends in the radical portion. Okay, did you remember the plumule and radical portion? Last year we studied and drawn the picture. Anyone remember the portion plumule and radical? Okay, so from the plumule, what is forming? Shoot system is forming from the plumule and the root system is forming from the radical. Clear it is? shoot system forms from the plumule and the root system forms from the radicle. Okay, so again I am telling these points. So listen it very carefully. Embryo development. Embryo develops in the zygote at the micropylar end of the embryo sac. Nutrition for development is provided by the endosperm. The zygote divides mitotically. Okay, so different stages are pro-embryo, globular embryo, heart-shaped embryo, and the torpedo-shaped embryo. The formation of embryo, that is known as embryogenesis. A large first it form a two-cell stage, that is known as pro-embryo. It having the two-cell basal cell and the it having a two-cell stage, basal cell and the terminal cell. Next, the first cell of the suspenser towards on the micropylar end. That is very important. I totally forgot here to tell the first cell of the suspenser. What is suspenser? The basal cell get converted into suspenser cell. Okay, so in suspenser cell, the first cell of the suspenser towards the micropyle, that is known as hostorium. Whereas the last cell of the suspenser towards the chala cell, and that is known as hypophysis. Clear it is? First cell seen in the suspenser stage, that is known as hostorium. Haustorium. Hostorium. And the last cell seen in the chala cell, and that is known as hypophysis. In a typical dicotyledonous embryo consists of an embryonal sac and two cotyledons. The portion of the embryonal axis above the level of cotyledon, that is known as epicotyle, which develop into plumule. That means a baby shoot or a future shoot. Okay. The cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon is the hypocotyle. That means future root. Okay. The root tip is often covered by calyptra. C-A-L-Y-P-T-R-A. Calyptra. The root tip is covered by calyptra. Example for this dicot plant is mango, apple, radish, rose. That are example for this dicotyledonous embryo. Clear it is? So this is the structure of a dicotyledonous embryo, and this one is the structure of a monocotyledon embryo. Grass means it is a monocotyledon. Okay. So this figure also you draw 5 times in your notebook. It is very important. Okay. So dicotyledonous embryo means it having two cotyledons. Okay. But then here plumule is the shoot. From the plumule, shoot is forming, and from the radicle, root is forming. The root is covered by a cap, that is known as root cap. Okay, but in case of monocotyledonous embryo, this is an example for the monocotyledonous embryo. In monocotyledonous embryo, a typical monocotyledonous embryo consisting of one cotyledon. That's why it is termed as monocotyledon. Okay, then the cotyledon is situated on the one side of the embryonal axis and is called scutellum. Did you remember the term scutellum? This also we studied in the last year. Okay, scutellum. The cotyledon is situated on one side of the embryonal axis. Cotyledon is situated on one side of the embryonal axis, that is known as scutellum. Radicle and root cap are situated at the lower end of the embryonal axis, that is, and it is covered by a sheath, undifferentiated sheath, that is known as coleorhiza. And here in case of shoot apex portion also covered by a layer, that is known as coleoptile. The portion of the embryonal axis above the level of attachment of scutellum, that is known as epicotyle, and below it is known as hypocotyle. Grass, banana are the example for this monocot plants. I think you know what are the features of the monocot plants. Okay. Again I am telling, a typical monocot embryo possesses one cotyledon. Grass family, the grass family is an example for the monocotyledon. At the lower end of the embryonal axis is radicle. Okay, and it having root cap and coleorhiza. Coleorhiza is an undifferentiated cell, and above portion is it contain coleoptile and shoot apex portion. Coleoptile is an undifferentiated cell that cover the plumule portion. Okay, epicotyle lies above the level of the scutellum. It has a shoot apex, and few leaf primordia are enclosed in a hollow foliar structure. Okay, then scutellum. What is scutellum? Scutellum is the monocotyledon stage. That means the cotyledon is situated on one side of the embryonal axis, only one side of the embryonal axis. That is known as scutellum. I think you are familiar with this picture. Okay, last year's picture. So this is the enlarged view of the monocotyledon seed. The seed coat. How the seed coat is forming? Integument are converted into seed coat. Integument are helpful for the formation of the seed coat. Okay. Then the protein rich layer, alveolar, scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle, coleorhiza. Clear? Here the dicot seed, bean seed an example for a dicot seed. Here the two cotyledons is there. Then hypocotyl portion, high embryonal axis. Above the embryonal axis contain hypocotyl above the embryonal axis contain epicotyl and below it contain hypocotyl. Clear it is.